As Megadeth once famously said, peace sells, but who's buying? But how much is this war in Iran, this special military operation in Iran, costing big oil? Billions. Absolute billions. And of course, you, the taxpayer, the consumer of said oil in the form of things like gasoline, petrol, and of course diesel as well. You're going to be paying this bill. You're going to be footing this bill. They're paying it now, but you're going to pay it further down the line. How much exactly is this costing though? And is it going to get any better? Well, we're going to look into all of that here on the channel, guys. A lot of interesting things happening over the weekend, and honestly, none of them really good. None of them really good, to be honest. I wish I had good news. But yeah, that is in very short supply right now. Let's be totally real. But let's have a look at the reality of things here on the channel. When Iranian missiles struck the Pearl to Gas Liquids facility in Qatar, they knocked out one of Shell's crown jewels, a giant plant that is among the most sophisticated and profitable businesses in the company's sprawling global operations. The plant was so heavily damaged that one of its 2 production lines is expected to be shut for at least a year, according to an official Qatari statement. Some of the Western oil industry's most important investments have become targets for Iran in its war with the United States and Israel. Exxon Mobil, which has more at stake in Qatar than any of the other big oil companies, gets roughly 1/5 of its oil and gas production from the Middle East, according to analysts. Chevron, meanwhile, they operate big gas assets off the coast of Israel, but these have now been shut off, while ConocoPhillips has stakes in Qatari gas assets, and 17% of Total Energy's annual operating income comes from oil and gas stuck behind the Strait of Hormuz, which of course, as we know, that narrow waterway that lets you get out of the Arabian Gulf, but right now is all but shut to anybody coming in and out. 20% of the global oil and gas trade goes through there. Jin Crane, who is an energy specialist at Rice University's Baker Institute for Public Policy in Houston, Texas, said the following on this situation, quote, "This has been a cash cow for the US international oil companies. It's going to be intensely frustrating. They're going to have to rebuild in some cases at insanely high expense," end quote. Shell have also come out by saying that it'll take around a year to repair the damage to the Pearl plant, and that's before anything else potentially happens as well. This war is showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. And part of the expense and the damage really comes down to the gamble that Big Oil made many years ago. Instead of looking for new sites, they have essentially doubled down on the ones they already have in places like the Middle East. It's a real hotbed for it. So these facilities are absolutely massive. They are huge targets. They are very vulnerable. They are not military sites by any means. And if Iran destroys them, well, it's going to take a lot of time and money to actually replace. And it's also the damage financially that it's going to do in terms of the oil and gas that's not being extracted for the time it's being repaired as well. The knock-on effects of this, the cost of this is massive. And who's going to foot the bill ultimately? You, me, everybody, the average Joe, John and Jane on the street. We all pay for it. If you drive, if you heat your home, if you do anything like that, you will pay for this. In time, they will get their money back. That's how it works. What are you going to do? Go and start an oil refinery in your backyard? No, you're not. You have to rely on these companies for this, and they don't take any prisoners, basically. They will get their money one way or another. But what about the raw numbers? I did tell you that I'd tell you how many billions this has already cost. Well, Exxon was already poised to lose around $5 billion in revenue a year after Iran's missile strikes damaged Qatar's natural gas facilities. And the repairs were due to take around 5 years in total. However, their overall revenue was about $330 billion last year, so it's not really a huge hit. And if you look at how much Exxon have actually invested in the region, they've said that they've spent around $30 billion over the past 30 years in Qatar. So around $1 billion a year. Again, it's a lot of money for you or I, but for a company that generates $1/3 trillion every year, I think they're going to be fine. But here's the craziest thing, right? Here's something I was not expecting to read today at all. What's happening to the share prices of these companies? Surprisingly, they're going up. Yeah, they're actually going up. Since the start of the war in Iran, Exxon's shares are up almost 5%, Shell's are up 9%, and ConocoPhillips are up 12%. I'm not an economist. I'm not an expert in this by any means, but why is that the case? Is that the case because the price of crude oil per barrel has skyrocketed? And effectively, these companies will get more money further down the line because of that. I'm not overly sure. You let me know in the comments below about that one. That's a head scratcher for sure. I'd assume that's the only reason why, but that feels a bit fishy, I'll be honest. Now, get your thoughts in the comments below, guys. What is absolutely not theoretical is the fact that the price of gasoline over in the States, the price of petrol everywhere else in the world, it's really, really going up because of all this, and it's causing a lot of people a lot of problems. It's hard to get by anyway at this point. But what absolutely is not theoretical is the fact that the price of fuel around the world is absolutely skyrocketing right now. So where does this end up? Where are we going to go from here? Well, it's not looking good right now. Are things going to get better soon? I hope so, but personally, I got my doubts. But you let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below as always, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.